said, oh my gosh, this was your house. And I said, I kept thinking to myself, what if this is his house? But pulling up behind me, whether it's to look at your Christmas lights or not, I didn't know that. All I knew was it was dark. I had my kids. You're talking to me. You're continuing to talk to me. Now you're backing in this driveway. And then I asked if it was his house. And he said, yeah. I didn't believe it at that point. This was getting so awkward. I just continued to feel like I was getting pursued more and more. The tone of his voice was not welcoming or comforting at all. And so yes, I panicked. Did I overreact? I don't think so. And my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out.
It's one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio. Wow. And my house is the best house in the neighborhood. Designed it from scratch.
Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's your girl Pebbles. Thank you for always coming back to watch me. It's a pleasure having you here with me tonight. Please consider subscribing to my channel if my content interests you. Smash that like button, leave your comments in the comment section, and let's talk about it. Tonight we're just going to have a really good chit chat about this topic that has been making its waves around social media. I feel like there are not a lot of content creators who are discussing this topic, and I felt the need that I should come out here and talk about it because it is it's upsetting for me. It is, and it's a topic that needs to be discussed. It's a topic that the world need to know about this. Okay, so this topic is about a professional cry me baby, cry me a river drama queen extremist, Michelle Bishop, who attempted to activate her WW tears after being exposed for her lies. Of course, all of this happened in Ohio. All this happened in an affluent neighborhood in Ohio. So this is what I will be discussing tonight. Some of you may have already heard about it back in November, where this WW lady, this Caucasian lady who lives in an affluent neighborhood in Ohio, decided to go for a jog or a walk with her two young children during dusk, like around 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening in the neighborhood. And while she was walking through the neighborhood, perhaps 2 blocks, I would say, or 2 streets over from her house, she suddenly walked up onto someone's driveway and rang the doorbell. And her reasons for doing this is because she said she was afraid for her life because someone was driving very close to her in a truck and slowly, and she rang the doorbell of the house because she was afraid. So she wanted to seek refuge in that person's house because it appears that this man was chasing her in his truck. So as she approached the driveway, the man asked her, "Are you looking for someone? Did you lost something? Are you looking for someone?" And she said to the man, "Do you live here?" And the man said, "Yes." And she says, "No, I don't think you do. I don't think so." Something like that. I will leave the video for you guys to see. And then the man said something to her in a very soft tone. And of course, Michelle Bishop seemed like she was upset and angry. With her tone was more aggressive than the man who happens to be the owner of the house. Then Miss Bishop decides to grab through the carriage on the floor, grab the child out of the carriage, left the carriage and ran with our 2 kids down the block to seek refuge in another neighbor's house and call the police, all while yelling, "Help, help, 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 help,
What's going on? What's going on? Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do? Papa! I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing?
Boy, come on. Boy, come on. Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do? Papa! I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing?
Boy, come on. Boy, come on. Help! Help! Did someone come here?
That was my wife. She got chased her kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in the
There was a
silver
guy in
truck.
a gray truck, and he came
So
around the corner,
I don't
and
know if you guys have a
I was in
reading.
the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah.
That's why
He lives here. So he came in and he said there's this lady screaming. And I'm like, that's...
she got all worried that she
I'm scared of the crap out of me.
How?
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you,
I
though?
had a feel.
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody?
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to laugh about this because it's a serious matter. I really don't want to laugh. But I had to laugh when I saw this buffoon running down the street yelling help, help, help for no reason. After I saw the ring door camera, I couldn't believe this. I could not believe it. I think this woman has something is wrong with her. Something is wrong with Michelle Bishop. So anyway, she ran down the street, called the police, and told the neighbor that there was a man chasing her. Then she called her husband, and her husband came to pick up the carriage. Now this man and his wife, they had to come outside to ask what is going on, because they're at loss. What is going on? Why is this woman creating all this excitement and saying someone is chasing her? Who is chasing her? So then they came out and explained that this is our house. What are you talking about? You came to our house to ring our doorbell. We should be the ones who, should be afraid. But of course, the owners of the house, their names are the Jenkins. The guy is a real estate developer, and his name is Mike Jenkins. His name is Mike Jenkins. And they were nice. They were not as aggressive as I would be, because I would curse them out. I would curse those people out. I would light them up that night because they disturbed my peace. Because if anyone should be upset, it should be the owner of the house. You trespass on my property, and then you are accusing me of chasing you. You also told me that, no, I don't live here. That within itself would have upset me. But Mike Jenkins kept his composure. He did not get upset. He was extremely nice to the couple. And the woman had the nerve to say, you should understand my point of view. You should understand my point of view, that I was very scared for my life, that I had all right to be afraid because you were driving slowly on the road, and then you backed into the driveway. So you should understand my point of view. So are you telling me that Mike Jenkins, the owner of the house, shouldn't feel fearful for his life that you was on his property and his wife and kids were inside that house? He doesn't know what you're capable of doing. He doesn't know what you have. So he shouldn't be fearful for his life because he is a man? That's what you're telling me, Michelle Bishop? Guys, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I will leave this video right here because this woman was rude. She didn't feel like, I felt like she didn't really apologize to them. She was just doing the whole, oh, pity me story. I'm the one who should be upset here. You're the one who is at fault, even though I trespass on your property. It's your problem. You should be at fault. I did absolutely nothing wrong. This lady did not care.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had the keys.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a
There was a
silver
guy
truck.
in a gray truck, and he came around the corner, and I was in the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like, gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up, and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here, and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and said there's a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's...
She got all worried.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you,
I
though?
had a feel.
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody? Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway, too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm
Well,
sorry.
there we have it. All right, sorry.
I went- She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
You came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like, I'm pulling in my... It's like I'm pulling in my house. Like, this is not this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house.
I stopped. You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard.
And after she left the scene of the crime, remember I told you she called the police. So of course the police came and had to talk to the owners of the house because she called the police. Now imagine a black man come home, and this black man said that he drove slowly because he was admiring the Christmas lights that his wife put out there. He was admiring the Christmas lights, and that's why he was driving so slowly. He was coming home from a hard day's work. This man has worked hard to move his family into the most affluent area, development in Ohio. He said that those homes are multi-million-dollar homes, and his house happens to be one of the biggest and the best houses in the neighborhood. In fact, people will drive by or walk by and take pictures of his house. This is why this woman couldn't believe that a black man that looked like that with dreadlocks, because you know how people are with dreadlocks, they see dreadlocks, they think very little of you. I will be honest. They think very little of you when you are wearing dreadlocks. So she's thinking, no, how could you own this home? No, this is not a black person's home. This is what I'm thinking. This is my opinion, guys. Don't come from me. This is my opinion. I'm thinking this is her thoughts going through her head. Look at this guy. He doesn't even look like he has money. Look at him. with all this big dreadlocks, Bongonati Dread coming in saying this is his house. This is the biggest house in the neighborhood. I don't think he lives here. No, that can't be him. This man doesn't belong in this neighborhood. How did he get here? So after the incident, and they had a chat with the Jenkins, the owner of the home, she immediately went on Instagram to play the victim after, the encounter with the owner of the house. And she told her story on Instagram about this aggressive man who chased her down the block, allegedly. And I think later on, that's how the owners of the house found out that she is on Instagram telling her story and telling an entire different story, painting a picture of this victim that, was scared out of her mind because this person was chasing her in the neighborhood. So the owners of the house reached out to the HOA, and the HOA, according to them, ghosted them.
I reached out to HOA immediately after it happened. HOA ghosted me.
HOA didn't even respond to them. It's like no one cared what happened. They were more siding with Michelle Bishop, the WW woman. They were the Caucasian woman. They were siding with her instead of showing pity to the black couple who lives in the neighborhood. Of course, when you move into neighborhoods like that and you are the minority, don't expect for them to side with you, darling. You should have known that. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you will never be their equal. Never be their equal. And you should know that. You should know that. Money doesn't change anything. Okay? So now after all this came to light only a few days ago, because this stuff happened in November and it's just blowing up on social media. After all this came to light just recently, the professional Crimea River baby later changes her story, claiming that she is not an artist because people are now accusing her of being an artist for racially profiling a black man in his own home. Because the entire time she said she thought that he was a young white man, and she will not apologize for the racial profiling she is being accused of. But she did apologize to them personally, and her apology was not accepted. That's what she said. She apologized to them personally, and her apology was not accepted.
Not once has this person reached out to us to give us a sincere apology.
Now, on the Shay Shay Club, the Jenkins family came forward and had a discussion, and they stated that this Crimea River drama queen, Caucasian lady, did not really apologize to them. They were expecting a formal apology, but no, this woman only went on social media to apologize, to do her little Crimea River, to say I'm sorry, and the I am sorry was not a genuine I am sorry. So they refuse to accept her Crimea River fake apology. The professional airhead Crimea River, WW, continues to play the victim on social media. She has made several videos, but up to yesterday, she had to shut down her Instagram and all her social media pages because people are now seeing the true colors of her. They came for her, literally. A lot of people came for her. They were really going at her, and it is now affecting their pockets because remember, I told you that she is some sort of influencer. She has a fitness, her little fitness thing going on, where she teaches fitness classes, and they were supposed to open a shop and all of that. So all of that has gone to the gutters, and it is affecting their pockets. So it's one of the reasons why she went on social media to give this fake apology. Not because she wanted to apologize, but because it was affecting her brand. Yes. That's the reason why. She has since shut down all her social media pages, including Facebook, because she, according to her, she's now afraid for her life. She's getting all sorts of threats and all this. And I don't believe a word of it unless I see it. I really do not believe a word of it, Miss Cry Me a River. I think you are lying, because you seem to be a compulsive liar. So as I mentioned, I'll leave the video there for you to see, but I will leave the video also of her here for you to see her apologizing and the fake tears and all of that is going on in this video. And I will do my little commentating throughout the video so that I don't get a copyright strike, okay, for reuse content. So just hang in there and go through it with me. All right.
I want to come on here and address what's going around right now, because it's pretty messy. Yeah, I think there's a massive misunderstanding, and now I believe that there is an agenda that's being pushed, and my heart is crushed. So, waiting for you guys to pop on. Okay. I just went live on my Instagram. So if you guys jumping on, I'm just sharing the same thing here too as well. I unfortunately have had to make all of my Instagram accounts, our business accounts, private because we are being really harshly attacked over there, as well as in our direct messages, to the point of now me getting personal text messages calling me and more. So yeah, we're being told to watch our back and all the things. So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public, and for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the furthest thing from a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So, long story short, Do
you guys see any tears? Where are the tears? Girl, where are the tears? And then you heard that lousy apology that she's giving is like she's been forced to give this apology. That's the only reason why she's given this apology, right?
Long story short, November 19th, kind of has caused a train wreck. And if I could say exactly what I think it is, I believe that it's a massive misunderstanding. I really do. So Rory, Cash, and I went out and we were cruising. The sun started to set. And John Bishop is always somebody who is always instilling, whether I'm at the gas pump, whether I'm in the grocery store. I am one. I'm oblivious to a lot. I hate to use the word or term ditzy, but I just think the best of the world. So I say hi to everybody, literally everyone.
Okay, so now she has to paint the picture of, I am a good Samaritan. I'm a good Samaritan.
If you know me, I'm like my dad. Everybody's my best friend. Okay. So he warned me, hey, be quick. And he's always telling me not to talk to people. So I went out and we're jogging, and I was on the back end of the neighborhood that's newer construction, and it's dark. There's not many lights back there. A lot of new builds, not homes that are established. And so I'm turning, and I kept telling Rory, she's like wanting to stop, and I'm like, this isn't an area to stop. Like, let's get through to the main part of the neighborhood. So we got our Christmas music on, and we're jogging, and we're turning the circle, and I can see down our main drag, and I see car lights. And so mom sensor, I was just like, car. There weren't many cars out, and I just saw those headlights. Just random thought. I was like, car. And so as we're running, I see the headlights behind me. And so I, like any of us have been taught, I think a lot of women have been taught, hey, if you ever, feel unsafe or you feel cars approaching, go to the closest house that is nearby and just pretend that it's yours. So that's exactly what I did. I see headlights. I don't even look to see what the car looks like. I just see headlights behind me, and I'm like, I gotta get us off the street. Didn't even think much of it. So I take my stroller and I get in the grass and go on the sidewalk, and the car starts to slow behind us. And, which I was like, okay, he's slowing down. So I'm walking forward and I tell Rory, hey, turn here. And so she turns, and I said, don't look backward, just turn here. And so she has no idea, what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, but she's walking up the sidewalk. And so the car continues to slow. I'm not looking backwards, but then I hear words say, can I help you with something? And it wasn't super friendly. It was, and I get it, like, what are you doing? Like, can I help you with something? And I was like, oh my gosh, why is this person talking to me?
Now she says she has the nerve to say this man wasn't super friendly. A stranger is in my yard and I should be super friendly to you? You are in my house, my yard. Plus that man has a very soft voice. So she's a liar, a liar, a liar.
Like, why is he at the bottom of the thing talking to me? And so I don't respond, and then I keep walking. And I push the jogger. The garage doors were open. The gates were open to the garage. And I remember thinking, praise God, somebody's home. Praise God, somebody's home. And by this time, I'm like, can you just drive away? Like, this is my house. And so I push my buggy up into the door just a little bit, and he says, can I help you with something? And I said, nope. And then I take my stroller and I start walking up the sidewalk to the front door. And I remember telling Roy, I'm like, hey, go. So I'm like, now walking down and I'm turning up this driveway, and it says, are you looking for someone? And at this point, he's like further by the driveway, and I said, no. And he said a second time, are you looking for someone? And so it was becoming a little more stern.
I only heard that man ask one time, are you looking for someone? One time, and not stern. So you're a lying woman?
And I said no. And so I'm taking the baby jogger and I am pushing it up the stairs. There's like a couple stairs to get up. So I awkwardly am pushing my jogger up these steps. And at this point, he had backed halfway into the driveway. And so I'm sitting there and I try to keep my cool. I try to keep my calm. You can literally on a video see me heavy breathing in the Ring doorbell.
Saw that heavy breathing? Nobody. None of us saw any heavy breathing woman.
And Rory rings the doorbell and nobody answers. And so I step back and I said, is this your home? And remember, it's dark, the street's not lit well, and I cannot see him well. And he goes, yes. And I said, I don't believe that it is. And he says, this is my house. And I said, I don't think that it is. And at that point, the only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times. I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my 2 babies. The lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. It's a corner house. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house. And so I said, I don't believe that this is your house. And so I'm starting to unbuckle cash and I grab and I freak. I go, Rory, run. And so I take off the porch and I literally run as fast as I can. Screaming at the top of my lung. I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the top of my lung. I've never, ever, ever screamed the way that I screamed.
Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out.
And I'm running through the front yards of everybody, praying that the Ring doorbell would capture us.
So you're praying the Ring doorbell would capture you, but yet you lied to say that he never said that was his house. You're a liar. You're a liar, girl.
Finally, to get to a woman's house, I'm bang on the door. And at this point, I'm dialing 911. And And I said, can I please come in? And the woman said, yes, come in. And so I'm staying there, I'm talking to the sheriff, and more than anything, I was not looking for him to come to my rescue at this point. My husband was going to come. I'm in this woman's house. The door is closed. And I tell the man, he said, do I need to come out? And I just said, no. I said, I was just calling to let you know that this just happened. My husband's going to come get me. And, he says, he asked me if I wanted him to come out. And I said, no.
So why did the cops show up if you told him no? And why did you call the cops for no reason? Stop lying, girl.
And so the woman then, I was at her house, she literally asked me and said, she said, I don't know how to ask this. She goes, but was it a black man? Because she goes, it's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I believe that this is a white man. He was a white man in a truck. A young white man is what I said. And she said, okay. She goes, because that's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I don't think that it was a black man. And then when my husband got there, I stood out front, and we're still trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me talking to my husband. But he asked me again, he said, what house was it? And I said, it was this house right here. And he goes, are you sure it wasn't a black guy? He goes, because that's a black family. And I said, no, I don't believe that it was a black man. And so we get in the car and we go to pick up the stroller. And I've said this a million times, I have never felt the fear that I had even just pulling up in front of the house when John opened the door to get out of the truck. The amount of, I've never went into like fight or flight like that before. And so he gets out of the car and he, goes up to the woman's house, and a woman comes out onto the front porch, and she says something along the lines like, did you forget something or did you leave something? And John laughs and he's like, yes, we did. I'm so sorry. And I get out of the car and I walk up to the woman, and I could not tell her fast enough what had happened. She walks out on the porch, and I jump out of the car and I said, oh my gosh, yes, there was a man. And John was the one that said a man was following her, chasing her, following her is what I said. I use the word chasing, following me. And, so she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway, and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah, that was my husband. And so he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house.
Now, I want you to listen to the tone of her voice when she tries to explain that, after they returned to the couple's house to collect the trolley, and the couple came out of the house, to ask, what happened, and to explain that's her husband. Listen how the tone of her voice changed from this sweet, innocent person to an aggressive tone of voice when she is interpreting what the couple said to her. I wanted to believe that this woman made a mistake. I wanted to believe that she was being genuine in saying that she made a mistake. But now I realize that this is an evil person. A truly evil person. This woman is a bad woman. This woman is no good. This woman meant that couple absolutely no good. She is evil. I can't believe anything that comes out of her mouth anymore.
And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry. And I told him, I said, I'm so sorry. And then, I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said, I truly kept thinking maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house. And he says, well, I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter. I said, the truck was starting to slow behind me, and I'm out here with my little girl and my son. And I said, I'm a mom, and it was dark. And he said, but I told you that this was my house. He says, I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights. And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology. And that night, I went home. And so if you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken, and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night, after that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this fight or flight. From the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed, to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally having this meltdown. And I kept telling John I was so sorry. I felt really stupid.
So let me get this right. You're a scary cat, but you took your 2 kids out of your home, walked all the way over to like 2 blocks or, a good distance from where you live into the darkest area of the neighborhood. And then you got scared of someone coming into their house, going into their house. And then you get home, and instead of you calming down after you realize that's the people's house, you still was, upset or scared, and you were so scared that you went on Instagram to talk about it? Lady, you have a problem in your head. You have a problem. You need help. Go seek help.
And I was like, super scary. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I have been on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I did not think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, better safe than sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. Like, that's the only reason that I went live. At the end, I talked about how I felt stupid and how this couple, twice I apologized and nothing came of it. And so, yeah, that crushed me. I did feel really stupid. So that is the story of that night. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less than that John was sitting in the living room, and he called me the day prior, and he asked me a question about, did you ever say, he said, did you tell the woman that he was black? And I said, no, I told her that I thought he was a young white man. He's like, I thought so. And I was like, that was really weird that he called and asked me that. So the next morning, I was doing my morning reading, and he sits down in front of me, and he's like, we have to talk. And so he told me that there had been a letter floating around our neighborhood that had been posted in our mailroom that had said something about a racist profiling in the neighborhood. And so, of course, you throw racism into the mix, it gets really yucky. And because he was a black man, I have been pointed as being racist. Although it was very dark. And like I said, I truly, 60 seconds later, ran to the woman's house, and I told her that I thought he was a younger white guy.
So let me get this right. It was too dark to recognize that he was a black man. You didn't see his dreads. You didn't really hear his voice, because we all know how a black person sounds. But you could tell, you could see that he was a younger white man. Ha ha!
As I said, I wouldn't undo what I did. The way that I acted, the way I reacted, I would do it 1,000,000 times over. Because what if that really would have happened? When I was in Houston, Texas, I had a registered profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym. He knew what car my husband drove. And he came to my house when my husband was gone. And I was in Houston, Texas, and I was followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit. When I literally thought he was a white man, and people were just saying, disgusting, and just tearing down our family's name. So now, I woke up today, and John starts sending me screenshots of people going on all of my social media channels. And, I had to make my pages private, on one of the videos of us talking about opening our store. There were over 360 comments. Over 300 of them within a 10-minute span, were from people coming to absolutely attack us. How to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said. To our direct messages, to my friends and members being messaged, to people texting me personally, calling me a big, our direct messages, our other businesses, Crave is being attacked, and every business platform, my Facebook ratings, everything is being attacked right now. So, everybody keeps asking for a public apology, and I wanted to get ahead of it very few people have truly said they can't, putting themselves in my shoes, and it does make me angry. It does, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm trying to be so slow to speak. I said, oh my gosh, this was your house. And I said, I kept thinking to myself, what if this is his house? But pulling up behind me, whether it's to look at your Christmas lights or not, I didn't know that. All I knew was it was dark. I had my kids. You're talking to me. You're continuing to talk to me. Now you're backing in this driveway. And then I asked if it was his house. And he said, yeah. I didn't believe it at that point. This was getting so awkward. I just continued to feel like I was getting pursued more and more. It had nothing to do with the color of his skin. He could have been purple, orange, whatever. He was a man in a truck pursuing me.
I truly hope that this lady husband get her some help, because she has a problem. It was a man in a truck going home, not pursuing you. Take accountability, lady. Please, I am begging you, get yourself some help. You have a problem, a major problem.
The tone of his voice was not welcoming or comforting at all. And so yes, I panicked. Did I overreact? I don't think so.
As I mentioned, that she continues to say that you have to understand my point of view, but she is very insensitive to the owners of the house in terms of she doesn't care how they feel. She doesn't understand their point of view, how badly this could have gone. Let's think about how many black men have been, gunned down or gone to jail wrongfully because someone like her just opened their mouth mistakenly and said something, called the cops, and there's a trigger happy cop sometimes, and things happen without them even thinking. Things happen, could have escalated. The guy could have had a bad temper, and when she said, no, you don't live here, he could have gotten upset and also do something or said something that would even trigger her more. What if she had a pew on her and she decides, hey, this guy is following me, I'm scared, and then she pulled her pew out and then finished the guy? And would that be her excuse that I was fearful for my life? And they would also probably believe her that she was fearful for her life. She has 2 little kids with her, and she's using those kids also as an excuse that, hey, I have these 2 kids with me and I was fearful for my life. So it could have gone left. So you have to understand this man's point of view as well, that he was fearful for his life as well, but he didn't carry on and he didn't show it. He said he went into his home and he allowed his wife to speak because he was afraid that if he came out, who knows, that these cops would be aggressive with him. Because of course he looks, kind of rough. He has tattoos, he has dreadlocks, he has a lot of tattoos and dreadlocks, and he said when he was younger he was mixed with the wrong crowd and he made some wrong choices during his younger years, and as a result he ended up, in jail before. So he is well aware of what could have happened to him. And he doesn't want that to happen to him again. So he was really scared. You could tell. This man had a soft voice. He doesn't have an aggressive voice. So for her to say that, hey, he had this aggressive tone, which is a lie. When I heard him talk, I'm like, oh my goodness, he kind of sounds girly. He has a very squeaky, soft voice. Nothing to be like, hey, what you doing? What you want? Not that kind of voice. He doesn't have that kind of voice. So this woman is just a blatant liar. And this is why it is so upsetting to me and to many more people, is that she just lied and she will not take accountability for her lies. She will not take accountability for what happened, for her mistake. Okay? Since it's a mistake to her, she will not take accountability for that. Her apology is just an half-ass apology. She is saying, people want me to apologize. People want me to apologize. Not I want to apologize. Not I would like to take this time to apologize to these people that I have hurt. No. According to her, she didn't hurt them. They hurt her. She's the one suffering. So this is why this is so upsetting. Imagine you have dug yourself out of a hole and say to yourself, I want to take my family out of the gutters. I want better for my life. I want the best for my family. I am going to build this mansion in the best neighborhood where I will feel safe. I want my family to feel safe. And then this is what happened. You could have lost your life. This man could have lost his life in his house, in front of his house. Why? Because he's black? Am I wrong for thinking this way? Do you guys think the same way? Do you think this was racially motivated? Do you think she racially profiled him? Or do you think it was an honest mistake? Do you think, honestly, she thought that he was literally following her and she was just triggered? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Or do you think she saw a black man driving in the neighborhood and thought, he can't afford to live here? What is he doing here? This man can't afford to live here. Or, here is my next scenario. Here's the other thing I'm thinking. After doing further research on Michelle Bishop, I've realized that this is not her first rodeo. This is not her first stunt that she has played. So what if she purposely did this so that she can have some sort of content for her Instagram page? Because remember, I told you immediately that night she went on, she did a live, and she said the following morning she did another live. So it appears that this woman does these kind of things a lot, allegedly, and her husband are known for, well, she is known for just being extra all the time, and she hides behind God. Like I always say, people like them always hide behind God. Everything she does is about God this, God that, God the next. If she feeds the dog, she says it's God, and everything that's just like that. So a lot of people have been saying that about her on Reddit. If you go on Reddit and research her, this woman has a long list of things that she has done over the years, going back to about 7 years. So people have been watching her on social media, where she is like an extremist. Everything she does irks people, like a total extremist, okay? And she annoys a lot of people. So perhaps she did it for the gram. Who knows? Who knows? It's just content. It's just content, because this is how apparently she is making her living as well. She doesn't have a job per se, just her regular fitness, Instagram stuff, and that's how she makes her money. So to her, that was just content. Another night of going around in the neighborhood to target people to get content. I think this is exactly what happened. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm sticking to that. I can't show the video of the owners of the house talking to Shay because I may get copyright for that. They just post their videos, so I can't show their video. I may get copyright for that. But the owners of the house spoke and said that they are kind of weary of living in the neighborhood right now, because the HOA really dogged them out in terms of they ghost them, didn't respond to them making a complaint about what happened. A lot of the neighbors are siding with Michelle Bishop, and they're feeling kind of left out. They move in this rich neighborhood and they don't have anyone on their side. So they're thinking of perhaps moving to another neighborhood where there are a lot more people like them. But isn't it something that, people always say, listen, when you get rich, you can't go back to the same neighborhood that you used to be, because your own people are jealous of you. Your own people will hate you, and they may do things to you. But then again, you move out into an opulent, a rich neighborhood, the best neighborhood, and there are other people who will also do things to you. So where does that leave people like Mr. Jenkins and his wife? Nowhere. Because where is he going to go? But they said that they're thinking of building their own community and just, trying to be around people who look like them. They did mention that the people in the neighborhood, they are nice people, but the bishops are not nice people. They are kind of strange. That they are strange people, and I do believe that. Something is wrong with Michelle Bishop. I don't think she is okay upstairs. Definitely something is wrong with her. Something is wrong with her upstairs. Something is wrong with her upstairs, and I think that she needs to get help. And this is not a laughing matter. I think that this lady needs help. She needs to go to therapy. She has issues. So a lot of people are commenting on her post that she made, giving the fake apology after people lashed out on her, and people were not agreeing with her even when she gave that apology. So let me read some of what some of the people are saying in the comment section. This person said, "You are scared, but you are out walking the streets at night. You're scared, so you take your kids and knock on a stranger's door. You knocked on his door, questioned him, then told him you do not believe he lived there, then proceeded to run down the street screaming help and tell people that he chased you." Yes, that's exactly what she did. This other person said, "Hey Michelle, I just watched your live. I was really trying my hardest to be empathetic towards you, and was until you started making excuses for your actions. You said you were so scared because the interaction was awkward. What's crazy is your actions are what caused the awkwardness. This man is minding his own business, driving home, enjoying his Christmas lights, and sees a random Caucasian woman walking up to his driveway. Question: would you sound welcoming or comforting to a random woman or man walking up to your driveway, to your front door, while your family is inside?" Michelle, answer that question. Michelle Bishop, we want you to answer that question. Would you? Especially if it is a black man walking up to your driveway while your family is inside. Would you feel comfortable, Michelle Bishop? You were scared of a black man in a truck. I hope this follow you for life. I thank God he wasn't killed because of you. You are asking, did I overreact? And this is what irks me. She asked many times, I don't think I overreact. If I overreact, it was just a little. It was just a little bit. I didn't overreact. Running down the street yelling help while no one is behind you is more than overreacting. Telling a man that's not his house is overreacting. Ma'am, you left your entire stroller on the gentleman's property and run for your life as if someone was in pursuit of you. I would say that you definitely overreacted. Take full accountability, Michelle Bishop. All I see is self-sympathy for yourself because of the backlash that you are receiving, Michelle Bishop. You're not a victim. Stop playing the victim card. You are not a victim. Stop playing the victim card. Everything you talk about is about you. You didn't put yourself in those people's shoe. It's all about you. You're the victim. Oh, this happened to you when you was a little girl. When you was a baby, there was an ant that crawled on your leg and you was scared. Oh, there was a mosquito that flew over your head and made a sound and you thought it was a helicopter and you got scared, Michelle Bishop. Shame on you. Shame on you, Michelle Bishop. You deserve every backlash that you are getting. You deserve it because you do not feel sorry. You're not taking accountability. You don't feel sorry. It's about you. You want self-pity. You want people to feel sorry for you. You are the victim. You are playing the victim role in all of this. Even though there are video cameras, videotapes, video whatever, showing every detail of what happened, showing the truth. If those people didn't have those cameras, your lies would have been believed by most people. So guys, those were there were a lot more comments that people left on her social media page that she has now deactivated, or I don't know, hidden. All her social media pages has gone dark so far, but the story is out there. You guys can Google it. Just Google black real estate developer Mike Jenkins in Ohio story, and it will pop up. Or you can Google Michelle Bishop, and a lot of stuff will pop up about her from even 7 years ago. But thank you for watching. I will leave clips through and through this video. The Jenkins, the owner of the house, the real estate developer, did come out and make statements, and he did a video. Like I say, I can't show the video, but he made a statement on his Instagram, and let's see what it says. Life will always throw you curveballs, but it's not about the obstacles. It's about how we handle them. During my transition, one of my main motives was to make my family and my wife proud. I promised myself and them that I would keep my word, even coming home from the feds. So yeah, he got himself in some trouble. Remember, I said he was in the pen when he was younger. Looking back at the video, I am proud of myself, not just for the success that I've achieved, but for the growth I've experienced. I'm proud that even in the hardest moments, I'm able to handle the situation with grace and not spaz out when it could have been so easy to lose control. That is the growth I've worked for, and it shows me how far I've come. Fast forward today, I've taken every lesson, every hard moment, and turn it into something bigger, something my family can be proud of. To anyone out there struggling, know this: it's not about where you start, it's about how you grow and handle the challenges life throws your way. Life is about how we handle the hard times and what we build from them. Keep pushing, keep growing, and trust the process. Keep pushing, keep growing, and trust the process. What a wonderful message that this man, who has gone through so much in the past month, have to say to people. I'm proud of him. I'm truly, truly, truly proud of him. And he's right. He didn't spaz out. I'm really, really, truly proud of him. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.